stairs, you know? And so I'm running up the stairs, and this is all, they obviously don't have it on outtakes, but his pants started falling down, and he tripped over his pants. And I was like, what's going on here? You know, and there's another scene when we're doing, like, this fight stuff, and we're kind of just sparring back and forth. The next thing you know, he's like, all the slobber starts coming out of his mouth, and I'm like, what's going on with this guy? He's falling apart in front of me. I kind of wish they had shown all that, actually, in the show. I don't even know where I was going on that, but I just remembered that thinking it was funny.
That's fine. It's nice trivia. I'm just trying to decide whether or not I want to ask this question or not, because it could be I might as well just ask it. And of course, feel free not to answer it if you don't want. If it seems like it might be like insulting somebody. I know initially they had planned for when Jason David Frank and maybe Catherine Sullivan left during Turbo that you and Nakia Barais were to stay on the show. How were you told that they were going to replace the whole cast, and how did you take the news?
Well, they didn't really say anything. There was kind of that feeling. We knew that Jason Frank and I are friends, and we're still friends. And so I knew that he wanted to leave the show, and a couple other people were talking about leaving the show. And it wasn't something that came across my mind. Again, I was having fun. I wasn't thinking about it really, which looking back, I wish I had thought about it a bit more. But I knew they had started to make me grow my hair out. And so our theory was that, Jason's going to leave, he's got his long hair, and then I'm growing my hair out, so hopefully that the kids will be fooled into thinking I'm Tommy, if I take over, And that was kind of what people were thinking, and that's what, was kind of going around, at least in our minds. But the way we found out was kind of really crappy, actually. We showed up to work, and the makeup lady came to us, and it was a makeup artist or somebody, PA or someone, and they were said, hey, we saw that they're looking for new Rangers in the newspaper. And we were like, what? And then yeah, sure enough, in the newspaper they're looking for new Power Rangers, to recast each one of us, and it wasn't something where they came up to us and said, hey, it's been a good time with you guys, or even not, or we can't stand you guys, you're leaving. But they didn't even come out and say anything to us, It was just like we found out from somebody else and saw in the paper that they were going to replace us. And so, we went up there and obviously talked to them and said, okay, fine, we'll go, But it was just odd how they did it, After we made them, millionaires and billionaires, and they couldn't thank us or do it in a decent way. This is kind of a scumbag move on their part, but... It is what it is. It's the business. I mean, I can say that about one company, and I could probably say it about a few others too, though.
Well, still, I think you've done pretty well for yourself, and and as such, I'm also wondering, what are you doing now?
Well, I am still acting. I do quite a bit of voiceover work. Transformers: War for Cybertron comes out soon, I think, and I'm seeing Bumblebee. The game looks freaking awesome. Everybody should get it. I do still act. I've done a couple films. I have a film called Love Like Bullets. It's not a weird comedy, even though maybe it sounds like it. It's an action film. And we're in post right now, so hopefully we can get that out there sometime next year. And I have a band, iShine. And you guys can check us out at iShine.net. EYESHINE. Yeah, and other than that, I guess that's it. That's what I do. I act and I play the guitar and sing. It's good.
Awesome.
All right. Well, on that note, I have just two more quick questions for you, and then I guess we'll bid you adieu and thank you very much for the evening. One, just little one, just because I've heard some rumors about this. I have heard tell that they did dub the second season of Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, therefore that would all the endless 8 episodes. And my question is, did you have to go in and redo dialogue for every single one of those things?
Yep. The
Oh,
thing is that it wasn't exactly the same every time, you know? It was pretty dang close, though, you know? But some of the dialogue or the inflection, how they said it was slightly different. It was almost as if they actually recorded separately, which they might have, because, like, you know, the lip flaps weren't always matching, you know? They didn't pull it. So basically, yeah, it was 8 episodes of the same thing.
yeah.
It was pretty ridiculous. You know, I can kind of see the humor in it if it was like maybe a couple
Three.
episodes, 3 episodes would have been fine. You know, but yeah, or even if you know, there's at one point when they had told us that we were coming in to do that, and the studio was actually thinking, hey, well, maybe we can switch places, and you know, like Wendy can voice my character, and I'd voice her character. Oh, and then we would do different accents or something, you know, so it'd be so bizarre. But then they were like, nah, that's not gonna work. I guess the fans
You know
got
what?
it.
I bet the fans would be actually incredibly pleased if you all had done that because
Yeah,
I don't know. I know some people that enjoyed Endless Eight, but they're about 1 in 1,000. I think the most part, the outcry against KyoAni was, why did you do this? Why did you do this to your franchise? It's not funny.
no,
Uh,
it was an odd choice to make, you know. Uh,
mhm.
yeah.
Um, and then also I'd like to ask about iShine. I know they've performed at a few conventions with you. I mentioned I got a wall scroll signed by you at a convention a couple years ago, MTAC in Nashville, and your band came with you and they performed, and it was pretty awesome. Oh, what did they think of all this anime stuff and the conventions in particular? Any stories to share as regards iShine at cons and that lovely
Uh,
stuff?
we've had good and bad experiences. I know for the most part it's been fun though. You know, because we get to play, you know, and it's a lot of fun to play and perform. I think yeah, they dig it. You know, it actually makes it fun too when I have them there with me.
Hmm.
Because I typically wouldn't go to the rave, you know, by myself or whatever, because it would just be a little weird. But with the band there, we run up on stage and we make fools of ourselves. It's just easier to do that with other people, and it's fun. It's fun. We have a good time, and we've been doing acoustic sets also. And lately, we've been doing a lot of random songs and writing just improv stuff while we're there with the fans. So it's fun. It's good times. Um, I don't know how much more we can do because at some point
Hmm.
people are going to get sick of us.
Oh, no, that's not true.
but yeah, it's definitely been a lot of fun for us. And I know that their first thoughts were like, oh, okay, this is bizarre. You know, they didn't know what to expect. You know, my drummer Maurice, he's the only one that actually knew anime before ever going to a convention, but he didn't know that they all dress up like this. You know, and do that. So that was, I'm sure, a shocker to him as well. I mean, the others are definitely still kind of getting used to it all.
Have they seen your work in anime as well, or do you just kind of take them to conventions and not necessarily delve into that as much? Or
As far as like watching anime, what's that?
yeah, well, as far as the stuff that you've been in, or do you like to show that off, or maybe not so much?
No, it'd be weird. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, you know, they already know. Like even when they came in to these other two, our bass player and the guitars, when they came into audition to be in the band, we didn't announce. It wasn't like, hey, he's the Power Ranger. You know, it was like we kept it all like we wanted it to be the music first, and then they found out later. Whoa, you're the Power Ranger. Um, you know, because otherwise it'd be weird. You know, and
Mm.
there's no way I'm gonna go around and be like, hey, so have you seen Akira? You know, and then their response would be like, no, and then I'd be like, have you seen Bleach? You know, and
Oh yeah,
so because they're not into anime, so they wouldn't know one way
of
or the
course.
other. You know, And I'd be such a douchebag if I went around doing that though. You know, hey, I made you go. You know, it'd just be kind of weird.
It would be funny
Right,
though if
right.
you like walked into like every rehearsal and it was like, all right, everyone, the Black Ranger's here.
Yes, I am
That
here, everyone. Relax. It's gonna be fun.
All right. Well, are there any upcoming projects or tours that you're free to share with us, or concerts, that kind of
Um,
thing?
I don't know exactly what shows I can actually talk about other than the ones that are already out. And so I usually stay away from announcing anything. There are a few anime titles and games that, you know, either you'll find out or you won't. There have been a few that I've done that I thought, oh, this is going to be cool. What was it? There's one called, gosh, I don't remember, 5 centimeters per second or 8 centimeters or something like that.
Yeah, 5 centimeters per second.
Is that okay? Yeah. So I dubbed that, and I thought it was a cool little thing. And then they made me sign the NDA, so I couldn't talk about it. And so I didn't even know it was out. And next thing I know, it's out, and I thought it was a good anime, but I'm not hearing anything. So that was one that just kind of came and went. And so I don't know what I can actually talk about as far as that.
For the last few years, I wanted to move ahead. I was reaching for something I couldn't have, but I didn't even know what I was reaching for. I couldn't figure out where those kinds of thoughts came from, or why they were threatening me like that. So I just kept on working. It was hard, and I could feel my mind losing its edge day after day. One morning, I realized I'd lost all the ambition I had. Whatever kept me going was now completely gone. I knew I'd reached my limit, so I quit my job.
As far as the band, yeah, we are working on. We actually have 3 CDs that are kind of in the works. We recorded a ton of stuff, and it's just a matter of mixing it all down and recording it in our in-between time. And we are playing around. We will be at Expo, Anime Expo, on the 3rd. We're going to be playing. We'll only play like 3 songs before AX Idol. And then we'll be playing around here and there. If anybody wants to know, they can go check out our myspace.com/iShine, and we usually put up our gigs on there. So yeah, and I will. And unfortunately, I have to cancel a few cons that I'm going to in the next couple months because I got this job in Japan, so I won't be around for a little bit. So it's good for me, bad for fans if you're planning on seeing me or the band at a convention in the next couple months.
Okay. Well, good. More work is always good, though, right?
More work is always great, yeah.
All right. Well, that's awesome, and thank you so much for indulging us tonight. And
It was
you've been
fun.
great. And well, just thank you very much, and you have an awesome
Thanks
evening.
again, sir. It's a great pleasure to finally talk to you, and I'm stuttering now.
No worries. It's cool. My Facebook was disabled today. Isn't that odd?
Somebody hijack it? What?
I don't know what happened, but it was disabled. It was not a horrible thing, but now it's like if I have to start a new one, then I've got to add all those people again. I don't know if I'm going to do it. I'm sorry, I just got a text that people were like, "What happened to your Facebook?" I'm like, I don't know. So my
Facebook
life
just
dealing with
yeah.
Facebook disabling. Well, anyhow, so I used to have a Facebook. Thanks a lot, guys. It was fun.
All right, cool. Well,
No problem. Thank you,
you
sir.
take care.
All right, you too.
Have a good evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Tonight, we find a light inside our mind, out of line. Let it
Should I leave too?
What?